Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Canada, oh Canada.
Oh, Canada.
You're a lifetime of journeys for the traveler. That's our dogs.
The Traveler.
They're being decidedly un-Canadian at the moment. Very grumpy.
They're just annoyed at our lack of national health care.
And they're mad that the Tim Hortons closed up the street.
And that, too.
Amy's getting them a treat.
We weren't ready for it.
Some Tim Hortons.
We weren't ready for Tim Hortons. You didn't deserve it. We're doing Canuxploitation. I'm Freddy. Kelley is here.
Hi.
Andy's here.
Hey.
Amy's getting the dogs a treat, but she is here. We did Origins.
We did it.
Yeah, we did. Episode 150 from way back in August 2009. We had reviewed Explorers.
Yeah, I wasn't on that show.
One of my favorite movies. It's too bad that you and I didn't get to do it together.
It was. I wanted to. I remember this happening. I remember being disappointed that I was not upon this episode.
I was disappointed too. If you want to hear Origins, just join our Patreon, patreon.com/NOTLP. We also release Topicana, which is our catch-all Q&A show. It's a lot of fun.
It's fun. It's fun to do.
I actually just listened back to a couple of them for the first time ever since we'd recorded from months ago. And damn, I love Topicana.
It's great. No, we listen. We haven't actually listened to this one because we also had a couple Music League things. But we usually listen as soon as it comes out, like as soon as we're home, or Alise gets home from work, because they are a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Speaking of Music League, that's another fun thing that came up through our Discord server, which you also get access to if you're a patron. But I want to say, did Bear Ravenson set that up, or Bill?
Yeah.
One of them set it up for us, and it's very fun. But we have great
Bear
categories.
Ravenson, I believe.
Yeah, the Song League?
The Music League.
Music League. They set up like categories, and we had like the first category is what would be our alternative theme if we didn't have monster movies with my friends.
Yes.
Which is the world's most perfect song.
It is.
And was it the Drive? Which one came in first? Do you remember?
Well, Shayna and I are tied in first.
Oh, you're tied in first.
Dead Man's Party was mine, and I'm sorry, Shayna, I can't remember it right off the top
Does
of my
it
head.
tell you who picked them? Because I didn't see that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, not until you vote.
Oh,
not until after you vote.
Oh,
and then it shows what everybody's.
I have to look.
Yeah.
But was it?
Okay.
Anyways, they were all really cool songs.
Yeah.
My memory, she not so good, but I did enjoy all of them. Music League in general was really fun.
I was wondering how long that was going to last.
In my memory,
The discussion?
No, just like
43.
what
Freddie
song
going,
was
and then
it?
what?
Yeah.
And then...
Hold on.
You know, let me check. Can I get my
almost
notes?
remember. I feel bad that I can't think of it off the top of my head.
That's
How dare
okay.
you.
We all are aging.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what makes all things possible here financially, because, money in, money out, as they say.
As they say.
Like saving up to buy Jim Davis's house fully furnished.
Friendly reminder, if you haven't already, I think you should leave on Netflix. It's Perfect and Wonderful, and the second season just dropped.
And we burned right through it almost immediately.
And then we went back and watched the first episode of the first season with these two knuckleheads, Andy and Kelley.
Yeah. It was real fun.
And we just giggled.
We gaggled and gaggled.
Watch it. If you need a laugh.
It's fun.
It's pretty great.
Do you need a laugh?
Do you?
Then here's your laugh.
Here's your laugh.
So if you you could also get a laugh going listening to that Topicana we did. I named it I think I named it, "Oh, You're in Trouble."
Oh.
And it was Kelley's question of what we got. What did we think we were getting into, like, really big trouble for when we were kids?
As a kid.
And it was...
And Andy just shocked and delighted everyone.
Everybody loved Andy's story the best.
Yeah.
They're good. Check it out. It was fun. Amy and I, we're not recording a Topicana this week because we're going to California. I think this is the
second month in a row where I'm getting screwed out of having a Topicana question.
You can save up those good questions.
I know. I have a fantastic list, you guys.
We can try to squeeze it in if you want, but we might not make our flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
California is more important than Topicana. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, patrons.
Guys.
Yeah, California.
Calla.
Ornia.
We're going to Hollywood Forever Cemetery the last day.
Dead people's graves.
And apparently Dustin told us there is a cat that lives there. And we got to try to get a picture
I'm pretty
of
good
it.
at like finding cats.
Yeah.
Noticing cats.
Yeah.
Is he like the caretaker of the cemetery?
The cat?
Yeah.
Dustin?
I mean,
Dustin's a cat.
That's a long commute.
it's very strange. Did Richard Donner passed away?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
He made a lot of, like you guys.
A lot of you guys
that
movies.
you love.
The Goonies.
Yeah, Superman. The Omen, I believe.
Maybe.
I believe so.
I think that was him. I don't have my phone, but I'm just gonna guess and say I think he did The Omen. If not, I'm sorry. I'm not a very professional. If it was, I run a candy shop.
So
I give out licorice ropes from my trivia master all of a sudden.
So that's sad.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Why is it taking so long for me to find out who directed this?
Why is it, Angie?
You'd think it would just pop right up. But
Slow motion.
I blame Google.
I do blame Google for
As
most
you
things.
should.
Yeah, I blame Google for Richard Donner's passing.
Directed by Richard Donner.
There you go.
The
Freddie,
Omen?
you had it correct.
Oh, did I remember something?
Yeah.
Look at you.
This is a good sign. I got to let the doctor know.
Yeah.
He also did Lethal Weapon and Scrooge.
Would you say it's a good
Yeah.
omen?
I love the Lethal Weapon movies.
And Scrooge is
Would
great.
you?
Oh yeah, he did Scrooged.
What? According to this, yes.
I forgot he did that. He worked on Tales from the Crypt too.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
in his IMDb.
Do you know Amazon owns IMDb?
No,
I'm not surprised.
I didn't.
If you tell me anyone owns anything, I'm not surprised.
Right. I didn't know that until recently.
Did you know Pigpen from Peanuts owns the Lego set of the Death Star?
You don't say.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
he's got the whole thing.
Kind of dirty, though.
It's just real grimy.
I probably wouldn't take it from him afterwards.
Yeah. It's like grimy and like some of the blocks don't hold together the way they're supposed to. Like he stretched them out. Like,
Right.
you can do that, I guess.
Somehow, yeah.
Pigpen ruins everything I give him.
Cool.
Yeah. Super cool.
Just for the listeners, I've never laughed so hard and loved my husband so much as I stumbled across him taking a bath today, a bubble bath.
Yeah.
He had some music playing.
Mm-hmm.
Big Pimpin' in particular was
Yeah,
playing.
Big Pimpin'.
Wow.
When I walked by.
Well, I guess I can't do it.
I was giving myself a
And he
pedicure.
was using a pumice stone on his bottom of his feet.
That's not a euphemism.
No,
I was getting my feet ready for our California trip.
he was
I'm going to wear
Big
open-toed
Pimpin'
shoes.
in our very tiny bathtub, and he is not a tiny man.
I big pimped.
He big pimped.
Did he have a
Spin the cheese?
one of those put bubbles on top of his head and make a little hairdo?
Oh, I wish.
could've-
No.
I had enough bubbles to do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Amy,
You have so much more hair now.
you cleaned the tub, and that's what encouraged me to use it. I was like, it's not orange anymore.
Oh, shut up. Don't tell people that. Oh, wait, I just embarrassed you.
I
You can embarrass me. You're not embarrassed.
That's not embarrassing. That was a cute
No.
story.
It was so, I laughed.
Freddie overcorrected. He went a little too hard
Yeah.
on your.
Hey, man.
Sorry.
I didn't clean
You could have cleaned the
I was just
tub.
about to say, I didn't clean it either.
I
just
have
us.
a weird, and this is not, I don't really believe this, like rationally, but I feel I can't take baths.
I don't like it.
I feel gross.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
I understand that. I take a shower after. I know that's wasteful as hell, but I do like to rinse. I can't just get out of the tub.
and I get it.
Who does that?
It's a
Butt
weird
soup.
thing. I just I just can't be like I can't stop thinking about I'm laying in this water and it's cooling and I'm dirty.
And you're like, it's turning into like an oatmeal consistency.
If it
starts chunking
jets,
up.
it has jets. Like if the water's it's not stagnant.
It doesn't bother you then.
Yeah.
It's just if you stagnate and then you're like,
but I don't like the closeness of the tub.
You gotta like when you cook something, you gotta skim all the stuff off the top.
Yeah.
Is that
It's just like that.
But the good news is that stuff lifted away and it's now floating. Now all you got to do is open the drain and then rinse off and you're clean.
It's true. I don't like
In fact, you might even be more clean because you allowed your body, when you want to clean a really gross dish, you soak it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And let's face it, our bodies are pretty gross dishes.
They're just that's all we are is dishes of gross.
I mean, half the stuff on me it's cooked in.
It's just grease and
that's a bad advice, like to wash your kids' bath time. Like, just let them soak, honey.
I thought about that when I was scrubbing
squirt some Dawn in there.
Trying to make my feet smooth. I thought about like how much of soup I made. Like it was like human bouillon, probably.
Yeah, see,
it
this
was
is
like
why
getting Parmesan
I can't take baths.
Yeah, it was like more Parmesan,
more pepper.
Say when.
Just say when.
Just say when. Anytime I'm hitting bones, say when.
Well, I need to clean the tub again. I think is what I'm hearing.
It's a good thing somebody said when, otherwise you would have.
That's right.
Scraped your whole body off.
I scraped it off, but my feet are super like smooth and soft.
I have rough and tumble feet. My feet have seen things. Freddie's feet are like, I just couldn't possibly.
Well, my feet are periodically rough and tumble, but then I do this thing called caring for them, where I try to reverse that so that they don't become giant rocks like everyone else in my family.
You got that
weird hard
toenail.
Feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a weird thumbnail.
You got a weird thumbnail and you got a weird toenail.
Yeah. I in the toenail, it's like growing out of my back. That's what makes it weird. That's why it's weird,
yeah.
We need to get you on Dr. Pimple Popper.
Remember in Ginger Snaps when she grew that?
Is he going to pop the toe?
Yeah.
She cuts off other kinds of growths.
She just cuts off things.
He said he had it coming out of his back. It was a joke.
But I know, but like I didn't know that she cut things off.
She just whips out a little paring knife that she carries around with her.
I watched one where she used a sterile spoon.
Yeah. I have a theory about what happens with all that stuff. I think she eats it.
Yeah, why not?
I think she eats all of it. If you listen to her talk about it, she's just salivating and ready to dig in as soon as everybody's gone.
What you don't know is that she's this kind of supernatural being. And that's what she's
like
her life.
And puss.
Yeah.
Well, then good for her.
Does she eat it right away, or did she save it up? Is there like a jar of pus somewhere?
Well, legally.
Not.
So
we did.
We can move along now.
Yes.
Do you remember in Ginger Snap she grew the dog toenail? What's that called? That pokes out the back of their leg?
Oh, a dew claw?
Dew claw. She grew a dew claw.
No, that's what they get out of their eggs with.
Oh.
Something has a...
Well,
it's like if I know what I'm even goddamn
that
talking
shit was
about.
gross is my point.
Okay.
You shouldn't have toenails grow out of the back of your legs that look like dog's toenails or out of any other part of your body. If you can avoid it.
If you can...
I don't think grow toenails anywhere but your feet.
I don't think anybody can encourage
You
it.
should try not to be a werewolf in the first place.
Right.
I mean, honestly, that's where you truly your aim should be.
Victim blaming, though.
Well,
anytime you're angry at a werewolf, you're victim blaming.
Let me tell you something.
So I should just let them. I should just let them maul me.
What about those people who chose to drink out of wolf's paws? You're just assuming everyone's bit. Now who's the werewolfist?
I was painting with a broad brush.
Yeah, that's right.
I take it back.
Well, fantastic.
Wolf fantastic.
Wolf fantastic.
Wolf fantastic. Wolf Van Halen.
Okay, things are getting out of hand.
Okay.
Do you want to move on?
Yes, we can.
Let's do it.
Yes, we can. We can do it.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for straight-to-video Russian roulette.
Hello, Jonathan. This is our future. Where am I? Sammy, why don't you show the new guy how it works?
Please. I can't do it again.
All right, I'll help. The government have been using your fears to control the population.
They're weaponizing fear?
Let's get you hooked up. We need to get out of this place.
It's the last thing that we ever do.
That trailer is way too long for this movie.
Yeah.
It was long.
That trailer should have been 11 seconds long and should have said, don't worry about it.
You can't weaponize fear. Are you trying to weaponize fear again?
Oh my God.
I thought we talked about
They
this.
won't stop.
That was so informative too, listening to that.
Yeah.
This movie's called Phobias. This was my straight-to-video Russian Roulette. It's a Hulu movie. It's a confounding movie. I can't say it's a recommend. It's not a good movie, but it is in parts a good movie. All right, look.
Okay.
This movie is dumb as fuck.
Oh, dear.
I'm not happy I watched it. I'm not like, yeah, but I'm mad at it because there were moments of good things happening. There were good things that happened. Like we kept talking about, like cinematography is good. The acting was good. I mean, some people would be like, that's your idea of good acting and you're fucking stupid. But no, you are. It was good.
I think a lot of people don't know how to separate a performance out from the movie itself and recognize that. That's like a skill.
Because I felt like I believed them. You know what I mean? Like there were moments where I actually felt things for these characters, or I felt like empathy. Like they took me into what was a stupid movie too. So like the acting was good enough to overcome really poorly written dialogue, which was a huge, like, I don't understand how the good things happened because the bad things were so bad. And what this is, it's like, it's kind of an anthology movie, but not really. But it is in the guise of a non-anthology movie. So like the wraparound, what you would call the wraparound is the story. And it's basically these people. So I'm kind of going to spoil this. If you're like just so intrigued by the idea of a movie that had good acting and some great shots, some really great shots, actually, some real nice production design. If those things, but in just a shitty, boring movie that I couldn't wait for it to be over, and it's not that long either. I was grateful for that, and I loved how they rushed the ending. That made me happy. But if that intrigues you, then by all means go see it. But I'm going to kind of more or less spoil this. So it starts off with this young guy, and he's Asian, and he gets beat up for it. Like these shitty dudes.
So it's a hate crime?
There's like a hate crime, yeah, and he gets bullied, and you find out he lives with this older relative in a wheelchair, and he's all messed up, and in his building there's a lady whose husband beats her, and it's just shitty. But like the guy is a real good actor. The guy who plays the young man, he's like a good actor, and you're with him. And there are moments where like you're like you almost get into it, but then his phone. Oh, right. Sorry.
Well, can I take it back? You said you just inserted "is shitty" in there. What was shitty?
The whole apartment.
Okay.
Just the whole everything in the building. It's just like a shitty, like gross.
Shitty.
No, I just didn't know what you referred to.
I got
You said you inserted
like,
shitty in there.
It's like you're saying all these things are happening. It's like it's shitty. Like
You know,
what's shitty?
It's just shitty, man. How was the food tonight? It was real shitty. It's just shitty.
I think I'm just gonna start that conversations from now on.
The word shitty is just so silly to me right now.
Yeah, it's very silly.
So
It's like, so Kelley, how was your day? Yeah, it's like I got up, had some breakfast, went to work, watched some TV. It was shitty.
Just mostly shitty stuff.
Like, what?
Had a shitty breakfast. Surprise there.
Anyway, so it's so stupid. They're all like, so at the beginning of each one of these little segments, it names a phobia that is, I guess, ostensibly the point of each little vignette.
Was one of them clowns?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised.
None of these,
that's like restraint.
No, none of these, and it actually, I mean, they're not even the characters' phobias. It's so goofy. But the first one is robophobia, and this guy
Fear of RoboCop.
Exactly. His phone, his technology gets possessed by this thing that wants to make friends with someone, and it takes revenge on his bullies, and it blows the wife's beating husband up, and it's just, and you're like, is this really happening? And then it turns out that he gets spirited away to this facility, this, you don't know, I guess, government facility, where they're experimenting on trying to extract fear from people who've done bad things, I guess, or whatever. And it's so stupid. And the doctor, and he's like a Frankenstein type. It's super over the top and just nonsense.
They did this another time with Robert Englund, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember right. It was called, he had like this wood doll. And I think it was just called Fear, maybe. But this wood doll, they are all in a remote cabin, and they went away for this study of fear. But he used this like man-sized wooden doll to be like the focal point, and it came to life.
Yeah.
I remember it being like okay. It was also, you know, pretty shitty, but
yeah, shitty, just shitty in there, and so. And it's just like he's just this crazy maniacal, but like somehow super well funded. His facility is like, it's so over the top schlocky.
You know, a billionaire just went to space today.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's an eccentric billionaire went to space today, and then like reframe what you just said, and it might be. This could be a true story.
No, I know. No, I know. It's more the like.
You stay away, Bezos. Get away from my fears.
It's just everything was like none of the lights were on. It was always they just didn't have lights on.
Did you know Amazon owns that laboratory? They own that and IMDb.
So how are these fears expressed? How do we see them manifest?
So each one of these is
like a simulation type thing?
No, like it. Well, they put this helmet on them, this fucking saw-looking bear trap helmet thing that like sucks their fear out and electrocutes them. It's nonsense.
I'm gonna suck your fear out.
And then just like it puts them back in these situations, I guess, that it turns out is their story and how they developed this fear. I don't know. And so the next one, I can't remember the names of the phobias. We Alise looked them up, and then I see how they're loosely tied together. This was fear of driving or fear of vehicles. And again, these stories in and of themselves, this is what fucking pisses me off about this movie. You could have taken large chunks of this and made it into a good movie. Like, because the stories were semi-compelling, even though, again, they're not well written and they're full of stupid holes, but the acting was really good. And so there's one where a woman convinces her boyfriend to try and pull off this robbery for them, and she wants him to like stick up this guy who owns a store, and he just can't do it. And so she runs the guy over and murders him. And then now she's having this, that when they put her in her dream world or whatever, it's like she's driving and the guy's ghost is trying to get it's things like that. And then there's one with a woman who killed a little boy, and then there's a really good one, although again parts of it are super shitty, but there's a really good one.
It sounds like someone describing Cincinnati.
There's a Cincinnati connection in this.
Oh yeah.
Because when they're watching the news, I wonder if someone is from here who's like in the main part of the production, because there's like a news story going on where there's like all this violence. This is like fear of weapons is the fear, and they say something about
this. Which is not
Cincinnati.
really a phobia so much, right? Well, I'm afraid of weapons.
Yeah.
Well, there's a phobia that went with it. We looked it up, but
I have this crazy fear.
I have this fear of dying.
I hate it when people shoot at me.
I have dying phobia. But they say something about the Cincinnati Archdiocese in this new, like very pointedly, like you hear it. So like I feel like there's something more.
Tri-state connection.
Yeah.
But like the really good one is this. It's like this teacher, and they keep kind of twisting the story to where you think it's going to be something, and these kids break into this teacher's house to like murder her, and it's real tense and kind of scary, but also like super corny in parts, but it keeps surprising you. Like there are really good moments in all of these little vignettes, but then everything that ties them together is so stupid. Like it's so stupid. It like just fucking farts all over the good parts. And ultimately, again, they're just trying to suck their fear out and make it into a gas that fucking, I guess they're going to release. And they've been keeping the public under control with it.
Are they going to spray fear on the enemy
all over it?
Well, they already do apparently.
So like they go out. Do they go out with those like cartoon like sprayers that have like the canister?
Well, hold on,
the cylinder.
Friday.
Just hold on.
Okay.
You.
I'm getting a little excited.
You're heading down well, what happens is the crew of people who they're experimenting on get out and they find a room with the fear gas. They end up. Oh, Macy Gray is in this. She has her story is fucking kind of great too. And it's gross.
It is so weird that Macy Gray is in this. We were just talking about her.
Well, she's in this.
Yeah.
And she's like, it was, again, stupid, but like, it was a good story. And it was acted well. And it was gross. And it was, the horror parts, like there was real tension in this movie. I know I'm making it sound like it's good. And like, I don't want to give anyone that impression. This movie was stupid as fuck. I couldn't wait for it to be over. But there were good things happening, and then they would take me out of it into the shitty things.
Yeah.
But Macy Gray's story is pretty good. Her thing is like a fear of imperfection, and she's this like executive for this architecture firm, and she like tries to cut. She
tries to walk away, but she chokes.
No, she stumbles.
She stumbles. That's what I meant to say.
She tries to say goodbye, and she
tries to say goodbye, and she chokes.
If you're gonna, I wish I knew Macy Gray so that I saw.
Oh, it's a good song.
Now listen, if you are gonna watch this, stop listening here because I don't want to spoil this.
Listen to the Macy Gray song.
Yeah, listen to the song,
and then you get Freddy's.
Do you guys care if I spoil this for you? Are you planning on watching this?
Do it.
Not if it's bad.
Well, this part is good. But anyway, Macy Gray's character, she wants to be perfect. And through this whole thing, you find out she only hires like attractive people and they're all young, and she gets them back to her house. She's trying to stitch together her face out of their faces. Like she drugs them all and starts it's bananas. And it's really cool.
She takes their faces off?
She operates on them and takes their teeth, and like you don't put it. You kind of get little pieces throughout this little story.
Pieces of face.
Little pieces of face, and then you get a whole one at the end.
How is that an improvement over any regular face? Like I understand that's like a madness.
She's crazy. It's well, that's what it is. She's trying to Frankenstein her face, and she fucks it up.
I'm going to put a bunch of different attractive faces together, and it's still going to be one whole attractive face.
Well, and that's how she fucks up.
Yeah,
and like trying to cut her own face off, and it just. So where she has like all these bandages all over her face. So that's how you find out she got them that way. So like it's a really well told little vignette, but then the wraparound is so dumb. And so they kill the doctor, and then but all the orderlies and other doctors are chasing him, and they get him in the room with the gas, and then they all find gas masks somehow and turn the gas. Oh, because the guys. That's right. The Asian kid from the beginning, his ghost is real. I thought that was like something that they implanted in his brain to make him scared. No, there is also this weird electronics ghost, and it helps him and them escape this place.
Oh, that's nice of the ghost.
And they turn
it's
the
like
gas.
It's like the Chris Kattan ghost at the end of House on a Hill.
He's an electronics ghost.
Yeah, it's an electronics ghost. It goes around and it fucks with electronics.
Oh, he's like in the Nerd Squad.
Is he like Radio Shack Jack?
Yeah, exactly like that. And they turn the gas on the orderlies and stuff, and then it's just Batman Begins, and the Scarecrow's gas gets all out into Gotham. It's just that, and then they leave. So like they're and I was happy. Like I was happy it was over. When I realized the ending was just about to be rushed, I was like, oh good.
It was a mercy killing.
But there were moments that I did enjoy. Like some of the, like, despite myself, I was mad at myself a little bit, but there were some real nice parts to this.
It's like kissing your sister.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. At least, that's what the videos I watch have convinced me of.
That's a bad analogy because I don't think anything's good about that, right?
No.
Isn't it weird that people say that?
Yeah.
People say that?
I don't think people
That's
say
an
that for
expression.
real.
Kissing your sister. You've never heard that before.
It's like kissing your
Yeah,
sister.
Yeah, when something is good, but you're like but it's bad. It's like, well, you know what it is? It's like being kissed is a nice thing,
Yeah.
but if your sister does it, it's gross.
Okay, so just people are gross in general then for making up that expression.
Yep.
I guess so. Or they had a real hot sister.
But anyway,
Does that makes it better?
well, who knows? None of us know.
I do not know.
I mean, my sister's fine, but I ain't gonna kiss that lady.
We're not going to know.
I mean, I love her.
Yeah.
I feel like I've dug a weird hole here.
You didn't at all.
Yeah,
Is that
I
your
love
fear?
my sister,
Okay.
that's all.
but this that's all.
Prove it. Kiss her, Freddy.
No.
Kiss her.
Do you remember the Barbarian Twins movie?
Yeah,
They kissed.
Instead of they kissed each other, and that was supposed to be played for like ooh and ha ha ha's, but it's like those are two brothers,
was it
and they
played
didn't have
for
to do that.
oohs? Did
I think
anybody?
so.
I don't think anybody went, ooh.
Did anybody
In the
like
80s
that?
they did.
Like, did anyone get excited?
Oh, some people did, but
Yeah.
no one in this room, I don't think.
Nah.
Maybe just the Barbarian Brothers themselves.
Possibly, potentially. But anyway, just a disappointment because it was like I don't know, some fraction of it was good, but it was held down by its own shittiness.
You started to make a fraction and backed out.
Well, I was going to say
You're
7/10. I was going to say 7/10, but that's too much.
That's
Yeah.
70%.
Would you say that like 14/20 is more fair?
14 21st.
Yeah, 14/21.
I don't know.
Fair.
It's I don't know fractions. I don't know maths.
Would you say 60% is okay?
I would say that
No.
like
60%
I'll
good
go
or bad?
percentages are better for me.
Yeah.
It was like 41% good.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
a lot of good, though.
That is over 50. That's 49% bad.
Yeah, it's more bad than good. Andy.
59.
It's a
Wait.
fifth third.
It's like
Okay.
kissing your sister.
Let me change
It's
that.
more bad than good.
It's like 16% good.
So would you rather have there be no good parts in it? It sounds like you're angry that there are good parts.
Yes. Because I wanted to just not like it or
Love it.
like it.
Do you feel like you were just a movie tease?
I was just like, this is.
It's just so funny that how black and white you see movies. Like, it's all good or all
No,
bad.
no, I'm just saying.
No, he's
you
actually
think-
been very clear.
It's-
There was some good.
It's just.
Just not
No,
enough.
even in bad movies, I
Just not enough.
can find some good things in it, but I don't get mad about it.
Well, the part.
But
It's
he
because
was
it's
mad.
disappointing.
Do
It's
you
so-
ever think about Misery? Like, she reacted that way to a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying it was disappointing.
So-
It's a disappointing movie because it could have been so good.
Do we want to maybe
Freddie's giving you scared
kidnap the
side-eye.
people that made it and
could
make
have-
them rewrite the ending?
It's not even the ending. It's the fucking most of the It's the story itself was
You
so
dirty birdie.
stupid.
Mr. Man.
Is that what you want, Mr. Man?
All right. Phobias. No.
Phobias is mostly a no.
You hate this
but
cockadoodie
like
movie?
now I almost
Cock-a-doodie movie?
You're a
almost-
Macy Gray completist.
I almost feel like you should check it out for just the moments of goodness.
I do feel like I'm kind of interested
but
now.
it's you're, I don't know. I was
Kinda.
so let down.
Sorry about that noise.
Bloop.
What a letdown.
That was Discord. I forgot to
What a
close
waste of potential.
it.
Yeah.
That happens.
All right. Well,
How dare you be good at all?
It's a waste of potential. It's like
It's a waste of potatoes.
It's like a genius kid who like fucking robs liquor stores.
And
It's like
kisses a sister.
and like
Yeah.
you're
Sister
like
kissing.
You could have been so great, but you became a
Kissing your
thieving
sister.
sister kisser.
kissing liquor store robber.
Yep.
Larcenist.
It's like that Bob Dylan song.
Kissed her sistin liquor store larcenist.
That's a yum that road kitty yuck, right?
Yeah.
We always say, I want to yuck your yum, but
No, I yuck
yeah.
incest yum. Okay.
I want to yum your yuck. That's what I'm into is yumming people's yucks.
So.
That was shitty.
That was shitty. It's shitty of me.
I liked it.
All right. We've got a Jack in the Box. We're gonna pass it around.
We're gonna
see who
jack in the box.
See who it pops up for her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to.
Kelley's out, so we'll start with Andy.
Oh, Andy.
Oh no! It's like
wow!
It's like I kissed my sister.
Curse of the first.
Just like kissing your sister.
Your sister.
All right, bitch. This is a Shudder original. Where is it? I had it open on my phone. It's called Vicious Fun.
Vicious.
Vicious fun is how people who talk like this describe parties.
That is like kind of like kissing your sister, because fun is good, but vicious is bad.
Right?
Yeah, mostly.
Did you make it out to the Hamptons this summer? We had vicious fun.
Oh my goodness.
Joel, a caustic 1980s film critic for a national horror magazine.
It sounds like you just fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
finds himself unwittingly trapped in a self-help group for serial killers.
Unwittingly.
With no other choice, Joel attempts to blend in or risk becoming the next victim.
This sounds kind of funny. Yeah.
I know,
It actually
right?
does sound
Behind the
fun.
mask or something.
Sounds like vicious fun.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my God, it's the title.
I actually might watch this. This does sound
No,
fun.
it's mine.
It's Andy's. It's only Andy's.
You can watch it after I do.
Stay away from Andy's sister.
You have to make sure it's after he does.
I'll text you after I finish.
Yeah.
right.
Ew.
Well, I'll tell you I waited, but I won't.
Right.
We'll be back with more Canuxploitation. To the exploitation of the Canadian.
That house is not fit to live in. No one's been able to live in it. It doesn't want people.
She said she'd seen a boy. He was trying to come up through the floor, and he kept staring at her.
What is it in that house, Claire? What is it doing? Why is it trying to reach me?
Will you communicate with us? Will you speak to us?
What is it you want? What do you want from me?
How did you die?
How did you die?
So spooky. Quite possibly one of the best haunted house movies
That's
ever
an
made.
example of an informative trailer that you don't have to watch.
That's true.
Yeah.
You kind of got a little more of a gist for what it was. Unlike that last trailer, it was just like, boom.
Well, it included my favorite part of the whole movie. Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the
What
whole
do you want from me?
That's my favorite part of the whole movie because George C. Scott yells at the ghost, telling him, like, just tell me what you want.
He gets irritated with the ghost in like a grandfatherly way.
Yeah, but that never happens in horror movies because all the time these ghosts want you to help them out. They give you these cryptic answers and talk in riddles. It's like, just tell me what you want.
Yeah. And then
it's
he like,
refreshing
you
to-
son of a bitch
Yeah.
and shit and goddamn ghosts.
I would too because he put that little kid ghost put through George C. Scott through hell.
Yep.
Needlessly too.
Yep.
He could just said, "Yeah, my dad killed me."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need, ghosts.
And it's kind of ultimately, we'll spoil this as we do every main attraction, but it's kind of a bittersweet
As old as I
ending.
am.
Yeah.
1980.
Yeah.
Which is weird. So many things about this movie. It looks to me like a movie from 1973.
Yes.
Because of George C. Scott.
Well, it's just because of the way it's filmed.
Yeah.
And it feels.
It definitely felt more 70s than 1980.
Except for the really crazier camera
length of
work.
his hair.
Yeah. Well, there's moments that are a lot like The Shining too.
And then there's moments that feel almost like Sam Raimi.
Evil Dead. Yeah. Like the I know exactly what you mean. The twisty shots.
I
from
thought
above.
of The Shining too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Definitely The Shining.
And Shining would have come out first.
Well,
Right?
Well, they both came out in 80.
Yeah, you mentioned all these
I
movies.
think Shining beat them to the
but
punch.
It's like
Pretty sure.
I watched it for the first time last year or the year before, but I didn't realize how influential this movie was.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see a lot
Yeah, because
of stuff.
I was thinking like, wow, there's a lot of tropes in this.
Yeah.
But I realized like these are where the tropes came from.
Yeah.
Well, but I was also when we started talking, it has a lot of tropes that I feel like are part of this sort of subgenre of ghost story, which is the big old manor, because you have this. There's always the introduction and the explanation of the house, which you got that in like Haunting of Hill House, Hell House, The Shining has that. The Haunting of Julia, which this reminds me a lot of The Haunting of Julia, which is from like 1973, I think. That's like Mia Farrow. And there's another one I can't think of.
The Haunting of
Sentinel.
Kid and Place House Party.
And The Haunting of Kid and Place House Party.
Why did they never make that?
A haunted house party.
I don't know. We talk about this from time to time. But it's so like I didn't even really put that together that there's a lot of these things happen across a lot of these movies. Like The Woman in Black.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't remember if Woman in Black came first, the TV series.
It seems like a 70s type.
But I just mean like it's also got that like the history of the house comes up like.
Well, this is the first movie I remember seeing with the microfiche sequence in it.
Oh yeah,
where which became a horror trope.
Yes,
as there's always the research montage.
Oh yeah, and I do think this was very influential. I'm not saying
that woman was so good at spotting the exact article they needed in a blur of microfiche.
Yeah, they had the microfiche talent.
Mm-hmm.
I have only ever used one once, and it was not that easy. The movies make it look so much easier.
I remember using it at Coleraine High School.
Yeah, we had to. That's our age.
They were very sensitive. The dial.
Yeah,
and you could easily go past.
You overshot a lot of times.
Like it was microfiche, and for almost all of our like childhoods and early teen years.
That was the internet for us.
Became digitalized.
Yeah.
God, you kids today have it so easy. You can fucking type in a search engine.
We had to go uphill both ways in the snow.
Freddie, they don't even have to type.
Microfishery.
Even that's too old, Freddie. You don't have to type into a search engine. You can just ask Siri.
That's true.
Or Alexa or Cortana
Hey
or
Alexa,
Google.
what's up with this house?
So Changeling.
It was filmed in Canada, so that's why it qualifies.
Yeah.
I mean, and some exterior stuff in New York and Seattle.
Was that
set in Seattle?
Set in Seattle.
The mansion, the exteriors and interiors, that's
a facade.
all the facade? Mm-hmm. Oh, even the interiors were sets?
I don't know. I just know that the facade was the facade.
That's kind of a bummer. I didn't look that part up.
Great house porn.
Yeah.
Let's just
amazing.
Great house porn.
The interior, like the crown molding. These movies are as much about the sets as they are about anything. In fact, I'd say that's the most important element in any haunted house movie is the house.
Yeah, the beautiful wood.
God, it was beautiful.
And this one nails
fucking
it.
built-in bookshelves, that ornate motherfucking wood everywhere.
It was actually too big. We had that conversation too.
To heat it
for one person.
It was way too big.
To heat and cool.
It's like, dude, you're renting this house for you?
Yeah.
Like you'd rent a wing of it. Like it's just too big.
It's like, I know you're a tall person, George C. Scott, but shit, that's a big house.
Yeah.
Well, he has the old piano.
Yeah.
And
he's a composer?
He's a composer who's recently lost both his wife and young daughter, which George C. Scott was much older than
well, we had this conversation
I got some
too.
Mrs. Kittner vibes for this.
Yeah. Although, again, we had this conversation. So he's probably, he could have been as old as 70 looking. In this, but
I mean, it's hard to say.
I was thinking 60.
Well, people
was
looked
fair.
older back then.
But that's the thing. Like now you have actors like, I don't know, there are certainly actors who are close to 60 who you're like, they look like they're 40.
Yeah.
So,
look at Tom Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I think
he would have been 52.
That's it?
No.
Well, he was born in 27.
George C. Scott.
And this came out in 1980.
Yeah.
Holy balls.
Did I do that right? 53?
Yeah.
So I overshot by nearly a decade.
He looks a lot older, but people looked older back then.
Although I feel like they tried
he's in his 50s.
I feel like they tried to young him up with the fucking the whiskers. Like the fucking,
he had like the longer hair.
There was no younging him up.
But I think that's what they were going for, like making him appear youthful.
Like, he can't finish a sentence without taking another deep breath to
Oh my God, after they pushed that car, I thought he was going to collapse.
Every movie I've ever seen George C. Scott in, I'm worried for
He's
him.
always out of breath, yeah.
But okay, I just say I found him very attractive in this movie.
He's a handsome dude.
Yeah.
He's a very
also
striking person.
Yeah.
He's got his presence is amazing.
Yeah.
Like I find Paul Giamatti very attractive,
Yeah,
but if you just
totally.
looked at him, you probably would be like, that guy is not conventionally handsome. But he just drips charisma all over the place.
You know, here's the thing about Paul Giamatti. He actually is. If you just look at him, he absolutely is. I was thinking this. I was looking at the stupid Sideways like it came up on my fucking thing. I was like, I don't know why he's the butt of all the, like, he's the ugly guy, because he's just absolutely a normal, like, good looking dude. But it's like he plays the part. I think that's his like persona. Is the
I mean, I wouldn't jump to good looking. Like
he is good. Look at the picture.
To you and I.
Look at the picture. He
I'd
has
go on a date with him.
He has a symmetrical face.
I do feel that our tastes run maybe a little off center in what an attractive face is. I'm attracted to faces that I would describe as having a lot of personality.
Look at the poster
for Sideways.
It's talent and talent and charisma make people a lot more attractive.
Yes,
and uniqueness.
Because I was watching that Bo Burnham Inside.
Yeah, right. He is not.
No,
but then
but
the beard.
But
and
watching it and like, wow, he did all this by himself. I'm like, wow, he's attractive.
Oh, and once they got their hooks in me, if somebody has enough charisma, I will never see them the same way ever again.
He's like, I can't unlearn.
I mean, I get
getting a boner when I see you.
Yeah, I get why the Rolling Stones and Steve Tyler's have groupies.
Yeah,
even though they're not conventionally attractive, like, damn,
I'm gonna look at that.
Stage.
I'm gonna make a point later to pull up the Sideways poster.
Get his lotion.
And I'm gonna get my lotion.
Get his
and we'll see if
tissue.
it moves.
I mean, like, it just
I don't know why I'm
he's
being
a
silly.
he's a handsome person.
Yeah.
The woman that sells him the house, or
That's
not
his wife in real life too.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a baby together.
Yeah.
I think. Why do I care? Why
Baby
does it matter?
Baby Scott.
Well, Campbell Scott is George C.
Baby
Scott's son.
Scott.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, is he really?
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
I didn't
I
know
said
that.
I know, like I knew, but I
Well,
didn't.
Freddie doesn't know who Campbell Scott is. And I'm like, I
From the
recognize him
Birdcage.
now.
I think. Wait, right?
I don't know
No.
who Campbell Scott is.
Wasn't he the son in that?
No, that was somebody else. He was from Father of the Bride, right?
You're thinking of Butters.
Oh.
You're thinking of Butters Scott.
Like, I know his face, couldn't tell you anything he's in. I guess I could look on IMDb.
Was
But
that-
one thing I did notice, he's the narrator of Freddie's favorite show on TV right now.
I couldn't even tell you what that is.
The Foods That Built
yeah,
America.
the food that built America. I
Is it
love that
'cause
show.
his name is Campbell and like from
Yeah,
Campbell's
that's
oh
why.
my god,
He's got a great voice.
Yeah.
The lady who works for the Historical Society that, sees this eligible bachelor because he's a composer of some renown.
This is the younger woman that works there.
Yeah, the younger woman. She's hinting around. She's going wink wink.
Her matronly cohort is not as enthused.
She's not, and when we say younger woman, she's like 45.
When I say younger, I
Yeah.
mean like us younger.
Yeah.
But now that we know was only in his like early to mid 50s, we're like,
Yeah,
whoa.
In the movie, it looked like he was more suited for the mother than
Exactly. So her mother made me laugh because this woman looked like a friend of ours' mom.
Yeah.
And Missy Pyle had a baby.
I totally
It's the
know.
mouth.
I
And
totally
I just
get that.
love this woman's like prissy little face.
Yeah.
She cracks me up.
She was great.
Um,
The faces in this movie across the board are all
great faces.
Faces. Like they are faces that are one of
They
a kind.
are faces.
You're never going to watch this and be like, "Oh, who's that character again?" You're going to be like,
yeah.
That person looks like a drawing of what I expected them to
Well,
look
it's like what Gloria Gaynor said. Not Gloria Gaynor.
It's exactly like what Gloria Gaynor
Swanson
said.
I
in,
will survive.
In Sunset Boulevard. It's like, back then we had faces.
Back then, I changed the stupid lock. I threw away the key.
Sorry, I got my Glorias mixed up.
Gloria.
Imagine Sunset Boulevard with Gloria Gaynor.
Ooh, a musical version. They did a musical.
Yeah.
We could have get Gloria Gaynor to be here.
Oh my.
Is Gloria Gaynor still alive?
I do not believe so.
So what was fascinating to me about this movie, I really loved it, was I had always heard it talked of very reverently amongst the horror community, but like not not like you hear constantly about The Exorcist or you hear constantly about
Halloween or
Jaws and all. Like
it didn't have those big effects moments that made those movies.
It's a quieter movie.
It is very gentle and soothing, and it's really human.
Yeah,
it's cozy.
But because of that, I had no idea what this movie was about.
Yeah,
I wasn't even sure it was a haunted house movie until I was looking it up to see, what the Canadian connection to it was. And it was like a haunted. Oh, okay.
Were you the only one who hadn't seen it, or had you seen it, Andy?
I've seen it, yeah.
So you were the only newbie.
I'm the only newbie.
So it is interesting to hear.
It's a cozy, spooky movie. Like it's one of those like when you're like, ooh, I wanna.
It feels English.
It's
winter.
fall. Let's put on a. That's what we at the first. This is only the second time I've seen it because we were over kind of Halloween. We were doing a lot of cozy, spooky movies, and so this was one that we threw on because I'd never seen it.
I watched it during my 31 days of Halloween one year, and it was perfect.
So we were talking about the way we can see its influence in other movies since. Because of that, the other movies I have seen that owe their life to this movie, I was looking in the back everywhere. If the shot was slightly off center, I'm like, well, they want me to look for a ghost in the background or something moving. And then, when the kid was like, I died here, you got to avenge me. I'm like, oh, that you're going to get double crossed. Samara's, you're going to let him out. And then I was filling in what was going to come next from the movies that were influenced by it. It was
and
just
you still liked
weird for me. Oh, I loved it.
Which is great because I
can separate seeing things I've seen a million times before, recognizing that this is where that came from.
And I'm protective. This is one of those movies where when someone sees it for the first time, I'm always like, are they going to think it's boring?
Yeah.
And they're like, why'd you recommend that to me? Because it's a slow burn.
It would,
and it doesn't have those obvious scary moments. It's more atmospheric.
Yeah.
Because what I noticed is how well lit the house was.
Yeah.
You don't see these dark hallways with just a little sliver of light. You can see a lot of stuff happening in this house.
It's well lit, like you were complaining about your Roulette movie.
Nowadays, it's the horror movie, the haunted movies. Everything's dark and
nobody ever turns the lamp on.
Sneaks up on you there, but this is more building the tension and the atmosphere.
I think the difference too is from a filmmaking technical standpoint, I think they use darkness the way this movie uses size because it has such a big scope in the rooms. They don't need to deal with darkness because darkness is used to kind of overwhelm your senses anyway. And this, they can put George C. Scott in 10% of the frame plucking away at the piano or whatever, and you're getting this huge space.
Yeah.
So it works the same as doing the darkness.
The light is used realistically.
Yeah, it is realistic too, yeah.
That's what another thing I love how is there's a very grounded horror movie.
Oh yeah,
because it has all the transoms with the lights coming through natural light,
and just with the reactions of the people.
Yeah,
there are no doubting Thomases really.
No.
Oh, they don't. They skip that part.
Yeah, I love that part.
Yeah, which is always just stupid, right? You're like, that part is in there for people that don't like horror movies to satisfy their suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. And then did you notice
no fat in this movie? Yeah, none of that stuff.
Did you catch maybe the possible Ed and Lorraine Warren stand-in couple, the medium?
Yeah,
oh yeah. I didn't realize they were plays on them.
I feel like
it makes sense.
That was an intense scene.
It was a great
but
seance.
Another thing I liked, she didn't look like Tangina from.
No, she looked like Edith from
she looked like a real
family.
But she looked like a real person.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like a Madame Leota type that has this connection to the other world. She
looked like she shops at Chico's and she loves her grandkids.
Well, I think she was genuinely based on Lorraine Warren.
That weird metal cone they used as an antenna.
Yeah.
This is the only time
love the seance.
and I feel like this is kind of why we ended up with stuff like the gas mask in Insidious.
Yeah.
But in this, it works in a way that is so 1920s adjacent.
Well, that's why it
mysticism.
works. That's why it works, because it's spiritualism, and it has everybody can relate to that. We've all seen that a million times. It's a thing that was real. But then when you try to make a modern version of it with Lynn Shays, then it doesn't were. But
Bless me.
You can bless you.
Thank you.
You can relate to the, something that's set up like a 1930s spiritualism.
It feels lived in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lived in universe of weird.
Yeah, you can have your dowsing rods and your little bells and your tinkles and your automatic writing. That shit
Your
everybody's
spritzers
down
and
with.
sprays.
Your
repellents,
chameleons.
your attractants.
I've never found automatic writing to be creepy, but in this instance, it was really intense.
Do you ever see The Others?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lifted this scene.
Yeah.
Basically.
I didn't remember.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Where she
312
contacted the daughter.
Yeah.
The Others, if you don't remember the twist in that, you need to watch it.
I remember the twist.
You do remember the twist?
Yeah.
I
just don't remember that scene.
Well, if you don't remember that scene, there's more to the twist than what you're thinking about. It's not just the twist with the main characters, but with the surrounding characters.
I'll rewatch it when I have time.
So good.
When I have time.
It's got twists on twists.
Shit.
Twist on twist. Shit.
Twist on twists and shit. Not shitty twists.
No.
Great score.
Oh,
yes.
A movie about a composer has to have a good score.
Or else. What even?
It's very perfect for Halloween.
Yeah.
This is a very fall, winter.
It's so tinkly. I love tinkly stuff.
Yeah.
I like to tinkle.
Like this, it was satisfying to watch it in the middle of July.
It had a good mystery.
But it would have been more satisfying.
It'd be real satisfying in the backyard with a campfire.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which is what I try to make happen, but it rained.
I can't help you with the rain already.
Now, can I ask you about the senator character?
Yeah, well,
was he kind of like an...
I wanted to ask this question too.
He was kind of innocent in this, right?
That's what I thought.
Because
he was a kid.
Yeah, he had no idea. He was a pawn.
So let's talk about that real quick. The idea is that there was an inheritance wrapped up in this boy who had all these illnesses surviving to adulthood.
And this I love the setup because it just seems so realistic of what people did in the past. It reminded me of the Kennedy sisters.
I thought about that too.
Yes. That they just
was that Rose Kennedy? That they lobotomized?
Something. I forgot
Rosemary,
her name.
maybe?
Yeah. That's so sad because that's how good of a job they swept her under the rug. We don't.
Do you feel too that this is commenting on that? Maybe
I think so because
of the time.
It's like keep up appearances stuff like that.
But these are powerful men with that are powerful in the community and rich, and the guy's like, well, I can't trust that my son is going to live that long, so I'll just kill him.
Well, because he's not going to get money. Yeah,
I need this money. If the kid
dies, that money goes to a charity.
That death scene was brutal too.
Yeah, it was.
That drowns him in the tub,
which is a method of murder that I've seen in trials, like the true crime stuff. But
the way they portrayed it, it was just so much splashing and
also the grabbing of the legs. Like they say, if you wanted to kill somebody by drowning, holding them by the legs is they can't resist at all because of the physics of it.
Yeah, this guy, the kid was crippled too, or disabled. Can't say crippled anymore.
You're okay.
No, that's okay.
But I did see the stunt feet. It was obviously an adult because they were huge,
or they're just two rubber legs that weren't attached to anything, and they accidentally got them in frame.
So if the kid was 6 at the time, which is what I think they said. He goes and gets himself an orphan that he thinks he can pass off as his kid later. Takes him away for 10 or so years, and then he comes back and as an adult. Nobody is questioning it. I think if you were 6 years old, you'd remember this happening.
Yeah, but it would
maybe not.
It might be a weird thing. I know my name is Steven.
Yeah.
One day you realize it.
Yeah.
And we don't know how much they told him. They just presented him as Steven. He didn't know about all the backstory stuff.
Yeah.
That he was and so now he's an elderly senator
and he's done a lot of good. What you see, it's not like he is a shady character other than the fact that he is by association connected to this murder. He didn't do it.
Right.
And then when you see him doing charity events and stuff, obviously he lives in this ostentatious mansion because you expect that from governors and senators.
Right.
And he comes from
places.
the family business.
Comes from money.
Yeah.
And that's another case of great casting because he looks like a senator you've seen at look up Chuck Grassley.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He looks exactly like this dude. I can buy him as this super old powerful man.
Yeah, I get that too. That's crazy. He looks a lot like him actually. But it's real sad when George C. Scott's character finally figures out what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the metal that they had missed when they first, and this is one of the spookiest moments in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
They track down the house that was built over the well, where his remains are.
It's very Stir of Echoes.
Yeah, and Stir of Echoes, yeah. Which was written right before this.
Yeah,
right?
the
story.
The novel was,
we're talking about that.
Yeah. And you could say that's also like Cask of Amontillado, too, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could say that's derivative of the Bible.
Indeed.
Anyways, in Gilgamesh, you could
Simpsons
go
did it.
But the scene where she's the woman who now owns the house is explaining. Again, this is the moment where they trim the fat.
Yeah, there's no skepticism.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, that's why my kid's complaining about someone trying to come up through the floor at night and talking and staring at her.
Well, that's not even shown at first. She describes it, and just her describing it, that's
all you need.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her telling it's scarier than anything they could have put on film.
But then we actually see the scene where like the girl goes in the room and sees the body. That was not as scary as the mother describing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been better to have even left that part out. But when they unearth it, they find the skeleton, but they don't find the medallion with the initials that the boy was wearing when he was murdered and buried there. So George C. Scott returns after the police are gone and gets the amulet and goes and confronts the senator. The metal.
I was thinking the whole time, that poor lady, that she's gonna have to put so much work in her house again.
Oh my God, they
took a chainsaw to the floor.
Yeah, her whole floor gone.
And it was a real DIY thing too. She's like, "Oh yeah, this is my friend's kid," or whatever. The guy who was sawing through the floor.
Yeah,
and it's like, you guys are amazing. Kind of reminded me of Night of the Creeps.
Yes.
Which did that visually. They did that perfect.
Yeah, they did.
That moment with the corpse coming through the floor. But
he confronts the senator with
he confronts him with it, and it's sad because to the senator, the killer, the patriarch of that family, was this heroic character that came and saved him from an orphanage, an awful orphanage,
right?
And gave him this great life, and then he went on to do all these things, and now he's being confronted with the fact that he's
it's almost
a murderer.
Completely awfully tragic.
Yeah, because now his whole, he has to confront the idea that his whole, his life is not at all what he thought it was previously to what he made it, himself.
Right. Which is a theme that I don't know that would stick today, because we have a healthier acceptance of adoption and birthright and all that. But when this movie came out, that was still scandalous enough.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and even just the idea that this is how you came by. Your legacy is that you replace your father who you loved all these years, like you said, looked at as a hero. You were the replacement for the kid he murdered.
And he only wanted you because he needed to protect this fortune.
Well, and also it's showing that there are people do awful things, but there are still people who love them.
Yeah.
And that's you and people are judging their family members or their loved ones for sticking by them, but it's a very human reaction to, still stick by them even though they've done these awful things.
Right.
It's got a lot of depth.
Well, that's blood is thicker than water, right?
Well, it's like you said, it's got a lot. It's like this movie trusts the intelligence of the audience.
The best ghost stories.
It doesn't ever talk down to you, and it doesn't tell you what to feel and what to think. So it's a very intelligent horror movie.
Word
up.
And super traditional.
So, the cop, he was just an innocent bystander, right?
Well, but he was also abusing his authority on behalf of the senator.
Because he was trying to help cover up.
Yeah.
He was his inside man.
The senator called
his
the
fixer.
detective, was like, hey, I need you to go fuck with this guy. And the cop went and did it.
He's Giuliani in the story. He's the Giuliani of the Changeling.
Dripping hair dye, standing in front of a fucking dildo store.
But he didn't know that the father murdered this kid, right? He was just trying to fix this.
I'm assuming he didn't know. He might have.
Okay.
I don't. The movie's ambiguous.
I feel like he heard rumors, but never confirmed it because he didn't want to know.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's so great about this movie is because you can see these. They don't, again, like Andy said, they don't have to spoon feed you anything. They give you plenty through just the structure of the scenes and tiny pieces of dialogue that you're like, you can form a more interesting theory than they could have ever given you a definitive answer for.
Right.
And it makes the characters feel more real because they do leave it up, and you're going to fill it in with shit, you know, that you experienced in your own life and be like, oh, that reminds me of this person who, you know, I know the dad fucked everybody in the family, but they still bought him a tie every Father's Day.
Yeah.
You know?
The Changeling.
And also, I feel so dumb because this viewing, I've seen this movie several times before. I never made the connection of the title and the fact that the senator was the Changeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this time, even though they blatantly said it, and I heard it every time, it never occurred to me because that term was not. I wasn't like super familiar with that term the last time I saw the movie, and now I guess I've read enough stories about. Like, I've seen the Angelina Jolie movie and read all those stories about real life changelings.
You know about
and imposters.
Odo.
Yeah.
He's
and
a
Odo.
changeling.
He sleeps in a bucket.
Yep.
I have to say, I was totally on George C. Scott's side when he was young at the kid. Because I'm sorry you got murdered. But he was.
You can't just fuck with people like that.
He was trying to run that lady over with his wheelchair. She didn't do anything to you. George C. Scott's trying to help you out, and you push him down the stairs.
Don't you feel maybe the kid's not super well adjusted from living in an attic?
Know, and
being dead.
And being murdered at 6 years old. But
that'll fuck a kid up, man.
That is some PTSD stuff that I don't think you're prepared to talk about, Andy.
But I was totally on the side of these people. Like, don't chase me with a wheelchair.
Tell me it's raining.
Use your words. We brought you a medium.
That was a scary moment.
Yeah, it was scary,
when it turns up, the wheelchair just turns up at the top of the stairs.
And what could that wheelchair really have done to her? She was hurt more by throwing herself down the stairs than being run over by that wheelchair.
Well, there's a classic chandelier drop in this, which is, you know, every swashbuckling and.
I get that. That's dangerous, but
I never thought
it's just
that.
a wheelchair.
Whenever I saw those chandeliers fall in movies, it was always like, I couldn't really hurt you that much. It's just a light fixture. But then this movie sold the shit out of it. When it hit the ground, like, it didn't vibrate or nothing. It like stuck into the marble.
Yeah.
Is what it felt like. It was like a real threat. Like when I see that happen in other movies, it always feels like light. I don't know how to explain it. But they really sold the weight of that fucker.
Well, I will say, I mean, it wouldn't kill you, but it sure wouldn't feel good to have an old heavy wooden wheelchair flung down the stairs
It wouldn't
atop
make you.
you.
He said it wouldn't kill you, but it wouldn't make you stronger.
No, it sure wouldn't.
Having a chandelier fall on you won't make you stronger. I've tried.
Yeah.
It just makes you covered in little crystals and
That
a lot of
sounds
blood.
shitty.
Are you calling Kelly Clarkson a liar?
Yes.
How dare you?
Did she have a song about standing under a chandelier and letting it fall on you?
Yeah. All of her songs are Nietzschean.
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson will be known as the Nietzsche of the 21st century.
Well,
in my heart, she already is.
Mm-hmm.
While Freddy's pulling up the list of our Beelzebubs.
Mm-hmm. Who's the Kafka of our generation?
Tim and Eric.
Yep. 20 points to Gryffindor.
I'm delighting. I liked The Changeling so much. I think we'll have to put it in a spooky time rotation.
It's good around Christmas.
Yeah.
It's really good around Halloween.
Great with hot apple cider.
It's good with eggs.
Wearing some boots.
Yeah.
Leroy is our picker
Yay.
this month.
Leroy.
He might have emailed me back or might not. I told him he had a couple more days, so I'm not trying to hurry you, Leroy. I just was saying. So he's gonna get us the third movie, so we shall all be surprised together.
Yay.
And we will be back on Sunday. We'll be back. So we're not missing a regular show, even though we'll be out of town. We'll be back in time. Assuming
Be back
that we
in
don't decide to
time.
stay permanently.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Wow.
I am not a California person.
You're not
I
a
like
California girl.
In-N-Out burger.
Well,
You need to just open one here.
Ooh, bring
Okay.
me back one.
I'll put one in the luggage for you, Andy.
In your check luggage.
Super greasy.
all right.
All right.
Well,
Yes.
everyone, what a good time we've had.
I've had a
Greatest
great time.
And as a closer, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs.
Yes,
They're
we
the
do.
true heroes.
Elise.
Yay. See you soon, baby.
Girl.
Yeah, Amanda.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Ernie.
Hey.
What's up, Mark?
What up?
Bill, I see you standing over there. Don't you know there's no loitering on this corner? Blake.
Blake.
Blake, what are you running with Bill for? You know he's trouble. Jeremy, Cassie, Gamora. Well, if it isn't the 3 pains in the ass, they're always bringing in pranks into my police department.
Oh.
Always karate chopping the mailboxes.
Get him, boss.
Jeffel.
Iona.
Yeah, a great one.
Branan and Emily.
Hi.
Hi.
You sound like the ghost child.
I think it's Emily who likes Michael Ironside, like thinks he's sexy, I think. I'm getting it now that we've been watching Sequest.
Girl, have you been watching the 3rd season of Sequest? Let's talk.
Yeah, so Michael Ironside does have some, when he's not playing a psychopath.
Just like with Paul Giamatti, you might not think it right away.
Yeah. But then after you watch him a while, you're just roped in. Hey, Adam.
Iron Mike.
Ironsides.
That's right. Iron Mike sides.
Also very Canadian.
Yeah.
Bill, not Canadian.
Nope.
Except in spirit.
Blayne Turner, not a Jew. That's like an Adam Sandler reference, guys.
Was that the Hanukkah song?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember he's like, O.J. Simpson, not a Jew.
Yeah, and you're like...
I love that moment. Monica.
Hey.
Alyssa.
Hey.
Brian.
Hi.
Dave.
Oh, my goodness.
Carla.
Hello.
Last, but certainly not least, Dustin.
Who is he works at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
But when he's a cat.
Yeah.
Only when he's a cat.
When he's in his cat form.
Yeah.
Well.
Wouldn't it be funny if Blayne Turner is Jewish and I just said he's the only person I said is not a Jew?
Wouldn't that be funny?
And he would be like, ironically, I am. And I would be like, it's Sandler. And he'll be like, what do you mean? And I'll be like, you don't know Adam Sandler? He's like, never heard of him. And I'm like, I gotta play the jelly sandwiches for you where they play with their penises and eat jelly sandwiches.
You should also play the severe beating of a high school science teacher. You can't put that CD on if you don't play that one.
That's a good one too.
So do we need Blayne to confirm his Jewish identity or not?
No, not at all. It's just
your religion does.
I'm just saying, his pants are tight. I can tell.
Just watching the Friends where they fashioned something for Joey.
Yeah.
So he can look like he's uncircumcised.
She has an assortment of meats.
Yeah.
She makes a fur one for Chandler.
Yeah.
She said you can't just concentrate and make one grow. It's like trying to grow a turtleneck.
Yeah.
She has olive loaf. Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah. She says, and then there was like a comment like, I hope not. Because otherwise there's something horribly wrong with his penis. It made me laugh.
It was funny.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Joey Tribbiani.
He stuck himself in the penis with a toothpick.
Yep.
He's cut down there.
Baloney?
His pee-pee.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy Leatherface put on Dawn of the Dead. And Igor made the nachos in a severed human head, and they enjoy the movie with their friends. David Kessler walks the streets of London on four legs, while high above him Ellen Ripley finds some funny eggs. And Freddy laughs at Nancy in her nightmares as she begs to have just one more moment with her friends. In a world where evil isn't always just pretend, and it seems as though the darkness never ends. Give me lots of popcorn and some time that I can spend to watch some monster movies with